live at this particular second. It went a bit wrong. I was trying to plug my video in and it went wrong. Yes, my hair's a bit wet. I went for a really long walk and then I just had a bath and now it's wet. So you'll have to forgive me. It's not dry. I thought it would be. It was 4 hours ago and obviously my hair takes longer to air dry than I thought. Probably because I had it in a twisty thing. Anyway, how are you? How are you? Everyone's gone. Somebody came, somebody went. Probably because this was a bit all of a sudden. Definitely was. I don't know what's happening really. I wasn't going to start yet. So, what's everybody been doing this week? I've been doing very little. People just shutting the door for me. I've been watching quite a lot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's basically what I've been doing. And I'm not sure I like it. Still not sure I like it, but I'm watching it because I've run out of everything on Netflix. I've basically watched everything else there is to watch in the entire world, and there's no new stuff coming, and this is looking a bit wonky here, so it's on a tripod, and so yeah, that's basically it. So I've got as far as the music. Actually, I started with season 6 because I'd seen season 1 and I was like, I didn't like the first episode ages ago, so I didn't watch it. But then I started from season 6, and then I realised after watching all of season 6 I probably needed to go back, so I've sort of gone in and out of it. But the last one I watched was The Night Man Cometh, which I think is the payoff for the rest of it. The rest of it these are garbage patch people. They're very much like the Slug Cousin. They're all like that, basically. That's the last one I watched, actually. The one with the Slug Cousin. Anyway, you probably won't know what I'm talking about unless you've seen it. I'm still not sure what to say about it, really. It's one of those, why am I watching this? But I am. So that's all I've got to say about that. But other than that, I'm probably not going to do one of these video things next Sunday at the same time, because I will be travelling eastwards, that's right, eastwards to London. Work my way, which way? West, east, west. Yes, I'll be travelling to London, and so I won't be able to do it because I will be probably on a megabus, which does not, if previous experience is anything to go by, have any sort of internet, even though they say, oh, buses have internet, not the ones I go on. No, but I can't be surprised about that. So that is what I will be doing next Sunday. So who knows? I've been uploading things. Hello! How are you? How are you enjoying your rest in the night? I was just saying I went for a walk. I went for a walk with, yes, or other way. I don't know where anything is anymore. Whichever, yeah, it would be that way, wouldn't it? That's where the chat is. I'm all turned around. I don't know left from right or west from east. We saw a plane going, what you said was northwesterly, and I said that's probably going to New York, and that's northeast. No, that is northwesterly. I don't know anymore. Hello, I know I'm going to be careful when I go to London, but I am going back to work in settings with people, so it might be quite difficult. I don't know what I'm going to do really, but I'm, at the first sign of danger, I'm out there. I'm going to be like the Roadrunner. Meet, off I go. Although I'm thinking in my mind of Wile E. Coyote when I'm thinking the Roadman. Maybe I'm more like Wile E. Coyote and a big anvil's going to fall on my head. That's probably, I'm just walk off a cliff and don't actually fall into the crevasse below until I realise that there is a crevasse below. A big tunnel drawn on the side of a road, and I will run into it. That's probably more me. I'm more Wile E. Coyote than I am. Although I'm not sneaky and I don't try to trick people. But if I ever did, it would come upon me like an Acme ton of bricks. So probably best that I don't do that. So no, I'm going to try and sort that. I don't know what's happening. Who knows what's happening? I don't. Do you? No. And so that's all I can do. I'm in the living room at the moment, my parents' living room, because I'm usually in the hallway. My mother very kindly said, hey, you can do it in the living room. Put something on and I'll go and watch something in a different room. And I'm like, yay! It's a slightly better internet connection in here. Otherwise, it's all vitamin pills. I've been eating vitamin pills because I've been trying to lose weight and it's still not working, I don't think. I'm still exactly the same weight as I ever was. No matter what I do, I seem to be flatlining with that. Maybe it's all, nothing's going to change. Basically, it's all as it all is. So this week hasn't been great for things. Good evening, Terry. Also, I saw that Chadwick Boseman died. That's very sad. My mother came in and told me that, but she said that one from Black Panther died, and she didn't say who it was. So it was, yeah. And I looked it up, and I was like, oh, that's not the one that I expected, because she didn't say which one. And yeah. So that was horrible yesterday, wasn't it? It seems longer ago. That's very sad. And so that's very, very sad. So that's one of the saddest things in the last few weeks. And there's been a lot of sad things. There's a lot of sad things in the world. So, yeah. Anyway, yay! Life. Don't talk to me about life. What are we going to do about life? I don't know. Just have to keep going, don't we? Keep going, despite everything. In spite of it all, keep going. If we can, and if not, then we can't. Then, yeah, bye. So, yeah, fun. Not fun. So I've got a week before I go back to work and London, and I'm a little bit like, because it's been quite a long time, and probably, I mean, it means I get some money, not amazingly huge amount of money, but it does mean that I, because that's something that you need in the world today. If it was an agrarian, is that the right word? If it was a society that did not depend on money, then that would be fine. And I could just find some conch shells on the beach and use those. But that still counts as money. I don't know. Barter system. I've got nothing to barter, so I don't think that would work. I have been looking at places to buy in like the middle of the countryside in various different countries. It seems to be that every other country that's not Britain is quite cheap to buy land. But they are quite far away from anywhere, all the places, and there's like farmhouses that you'd have to completely rebuild, and there's no internet, and I don't think I'd do very well without internet and electricity, because we had a power cut last week, probably since I saw you last. We had a power cut, and me and my parents played I Spy for 2 hours. We're like, I Spy with my little eye. It's like, there's nothing to do. What did we do before the internet? There was no electricity of any sort. I'm not looking forward to going back to London, no. Greetings from Hickory, North Carolina. Yes, hello, yes. I don't know what I'm going to do. So it would be difficult, really. I could move into the middle of the countryside, but since I didn't cope well with the power cut, I was like, so we were looking for candles. It was still light. It's like, we better get candles because we don't know whether this is ever going to come back. This might be, we don't even know whether this is throughout the world. Maybe the whole world has lost power. We will never know because there's no TV and there's no internet and there's no way to find out. We can't phone anyone because it's electricity. It was like, the world could have ended and we would have no way or means of knowing. No way at all. What are you supposed to do? I don't know. So, I suppose, and I saw something today, people going, I had to get away from social media and the internet, and it's good to rest from that. It's like, no, you must always be on the internet and social media. Otherwise, who are you if you're not connected to everyone else? Prep for stuff. Maybe you can prep for stuff, but if it happens when you're not prepared, Scott, then you're really very much literally in the dark. That's too late. So yes, you can be a prepper, but it takes several years to prepare enough for the future and get a generator. If you do not have a generator and a cellar full of canned goods and a can opener, remember the can opener, and all of this sort of stuff, even then, are you going to have the internet? No, you can't make your own internet. Hello, Andy Calloway. No, you cannot make your own internet. So even if you prepare for the end of all civilization and you've got all the canned peaches and the can opener and all the electricity you want, if you do not have the internet or any television or anything, then you are very much, oh no, I suppose you can get DVDs, but the DVDs are already pre-recorded, so you will not know anything. You will not know when it's safe to come out again, because if you've watched Roswell DVDs for the 54th time, because that's the only way that the one that you thought to put in and you forgot that all the others are up above the ground where you're not, then you will very much be a bit lost. Yes, what was that thing with John Goodman? It was the sequel to that other thing. Yeah, you thought it was, they were in a bunker and he was trying to stop them from going out, and they're like, you're a madman keeping us in. And then they found these aliens and acid creatures coming from the sky, and it was like, yeah, the end of the world. Now, if you didn't have the internet, you would not know whether that was true or not, would you? If you did have the internet, Cloverfield, the sequel to Cloverfield, 54 Cloverfield Lane or whatever it was called, if you did not have the internet, if you got the internet, you still won't know, because the sequel to Cloverfield, Scott, the sequel to that, where they're in the basement, that is like, because the thing is, even if you do have the internet in that situation, because of all the false information that's on the internet, you might not even believe. It's like, aha, that's just a fake news site. Aha, that's true. We could be discussing Kimmy Schmidt. That would be an interesting crossover with Cloverfield Kimmy Schmidt crossover, where the Reverend kept Kimmy Schmidt underground because there definitely was the end of the world and there was alien acid monsters coming from the sky and jumping on cars. That would have been an interesting Kimmy Schmidt episode, but it wasn't. That genuinely was. That was a comedy. Anyway. My point is, how are we ever to know what is true, even with the internet? So without it, we are nothing. We are but nothing. We are. This is for some reason reminding me of Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's coming out, isn't it? But only in cinemas, and I'm not prepared to go to the cinemas quite yet. Even though I've got quite a lot of masks and things, I'm not going to the cinemas quite yet. No. Spray. You have to get like a spray can, and they do internet for YouTube. Yes, well, hello. Well, I'm honoured then. Thank you. It is, I do everything on the internet. I've done, internet before. I was talking to some friends. I went walking with an old friend, and they were like, oh, well, we never used to have the internet, we never used to have the internet, but they didn't have computers when we were young. I was like, no, I've always had computers, always. And also, her children said they wanted to play in the mud, and that we should let them, they said, because back in the 90s when we were kids, then we were allowed to go everywhere. And we was like, yes, back in the 90s, when I was a very small child in the 90s. Yes, that's true. I'm seeing all this stuff about generation this and generation that, and I realise that I'm not generation anything. I am out in the wilderness. I'm the wilderness generation. This is what I am. I'm the invisible generation. The generation that is lost in space and time. We did not exist. It's about a big chasm. A big chasm. I should hike more. I should. It was a nice hike, but I'm very tired and my head hurts because I was out in the sun. There was a lot of. We kept going and get lost, and because it's an industrial landscape, there's a lot of crevices, very much like Wile E. Coyote. I could have easily walked off the crevice and fallen into them. And also, we kept going one way and there was also scrambling bikes, so we had to avoid those. We kept coming in, and there was springs everywhere in this, because where the ground has subsided, and there was a path that way at one point, but now somebody's made a path, and the spring has bubbled up from the subsidence and the stuff that was there before there was industry, and it's coming up, and it's like, oh well, we can't go any further this way. It's just a swamp. It's basically a swamp and big holes in the ground and slag heaps, lots of slag heaps. And it's very much like the Canary Islands. It looks like a volcanic landscape, but it's not volcanoes that created it. It was the coal and steel and iron industries. Number 11, Cloverfield, was it? Number 11. Not number 54. I think I'm getting it confused with Studio 54, which was also about everyone going into an underground scary basement and being kept there against their will. Oh, probably not, actually. That was more dancing and singing. Yeah. Area 54. Was it Area 51? Yeah, Area 51 not the same as Area 54. I was talking about Roswell, wasn't I? I'm getting a bit confused here. Area 54 was Roswell. Studio 51 was a 1970s nightclub. Area 51, Studio 54. Area 54 and Studio 51. Something like that, anyway. Yes, you know, you're not allowed to go to Studio 51 anymore, or Area 54. Which is which? I don't know, I've never been to either of them. Area 56. I think I made the same mistake when because I used to write for a TV magazine, and I think I wrote a thing about Roswell and said, and I think I wrote something about Studio 50, whatever it was before, Area 54. Area 51 and Studio 54. Anyway, I got them confused and I got letters. I was like, yeah, it was a joke. I joked. It wasn't a joke. I genuinely got confused. Very confused. Indeed. So yeah. One of those things is not like the other. But anyway, yes. Kimmy Schmidt, Cloverfield, number 11, Cloverfield, number 11, 11, Cloverfield, 54, 51. Car 54, exactly, car 54. I mean, how are you supposed to know? There's too many things with numbers. 7. What's in the box? Yeah. 7 is a very popular number. There's insects flying around in here. Or maybe I'm just hallucinating it because I've got a headache from being out in the heat, in the blazing heat. It was quite warm today. It was surprising. I went for a walk I only did 8,500 miles, I was going to say. 8,500, yeah, the 400, yeah, the 4,400, the 100, the 20, the 86. Anyway, I went for a walk and I did just over 8,000 miles. And it took, I think I must have been walking a lot slower because when I did 11,000, not miles, steps, last week or the week before, it took me 1 hour and 45 minutes. And it took me 1 hour and 35 minutes to do 8,000 steps, so I must have been dawdling. It was all those streams and the crevasses, yeah, the holes in the ground and stuff that I kept falling down and having to clamber out. I'm lost down a well. Send me, Lassie, or Flipper. Flipper never saved anyone from down a well, did they? Because they were in the sea. Not the same thing at all. I'm thinking of Skippy, the bush kangaroo. Is not the same as Flipper, the definitely not land-based animal. Why are the banks closed on Saturday? I don't know. Why are the banks closed on Saturday? They're not all. They used to, for a while, be open on Saturday morning, and then they just closed them all. Like where I am in London, there was 3 or 4 branches of different banks about a year and a half ago, and now there's none. They've closed them all, so they're all closed on Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All of the days, because they do not exist anymore. They have closed them all. Close them all. No, I know about 20 years ago there was an advertising campaign from National Westminster saying, "Whoa, we don't close all our branches and you go, there's a trendy wine bar in your branches." It's like, no, because you've already closed them. And then there was already trendy wine bars. It's like, no, because you're not going to close anymore. You've already closed them all. But they did close more since then in the last year and a half. And now there are no branches in it because it's a money-free society, apparently. Yes. Like in America, you can still cash checks, apparently, but you have to walk miles, go absolutely for miles to cash checks. Who writes checks? Nobody writes checks. Checks? What's a check? And cash? What's the cash? Cash. I mean, I think that we were supposed to have a new £20 note in this country with Alan Turing or somebody, or the Turing Shroud or something. A new £20 note. Do you write checks? Yeah, the new £20 note. And the old £20 note was going to be completely... You couldn't use it after June, but then other things happened in the world, and I think you can still use the old £20 note for the foreseeable future, and I have not still seen a new £20 note at all. It could be anyone on it. It could be Mickey Mouse on it for all I know, because I have not seen a £20 note. I've barely seen outside in the last 7 or 8 months, but Who is on? I think it is Alan Turing. 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 You are on it, are you, Scott? Oh, well, that's good to know, Scott. I'm not sure why you would be, but well done. Yes, so the Alan Turing Shroud, exactly, as I said, that you could have been that. And if you wrap yourself in £20 notes, then I'm sure that's very nice. I mean, you can't take it with you, they say. You can't take it with you, but you can if you wrap them all around you and have them buried with you. You can definitely take it with you. Not going anywhere, but you can very much. J.W. Turner might be on a banknote. I don't know. If it is, he's not on one that I'm aware of. There's a £50 note that's got somebody on there. My dad said the other day, I've never seen a £50 note. No, I've seen a £50 note. Not for a long while, though. But I think it's got somebody with a big wig on. I don't think... Maybe that's the one. Boris Johnson's on the £3 note. Yes, exactly he is, Andy Calloway. Very, very clever and astute. Ew, dearie me. 3 bob note. Yes. Used to be able to get 3p. A threepenny bit, apparently, well before my time, but I don't know when they stopped making those. She wrote check. Oh, did she? Okay. There was a rich man who wanted his wife to bury him with all his money. Oh, yeah, that's clever. Yeah, I see. I read the punchline before I read the beginning, but somebody's unliked me from backwards reading. Yeah, exactly. That's very good, Scott. But yes. Read note of people going along. I don't know what's up anymore. Anyway, I've got slightly less. It turns out that if I stretch my legs and stuff, then it hurts slightly less in my head, which makes no sense at all. Because stretching my legs does not seem to. How's that got anything to do with your head? But apparently it has. Because I was putting my leg up against the wall and stretching it really high, and it was like, my head feels a bit better. I'm actually talking a lot, so obviously my neck muscles and my jaw muscles must have something to do with my headache, because while I'm talking, I can't tell that I've got a headache, and the second I stop talking, it's like, ow. I don't know whether I've got sunstroke. Was I out? It wasn't that hot. It's your backbone. Yes, my backbone. That's how... My backbone is what makes me talk and gives me a headache. Yes, that's definitely what it is. Look what I've just seen. I've still got an Easter egg from... I hadn't eaten... Because I've been on a diet for a while. I bought an Easter egg and I've got most of the Easter egg. Because it is dark chocolate. So that pretty much lasts forever and ever and ever. I know after anybody's holidays, like Easter or Passover or anything where that you get food and chocolate and things that are on special offer after it finishes, what I do, Christmas and Hanukkah, any sort of celebration by anyone, Ramadan after that, because Eid it would be, because you don't actually have special food for... Forget what I said there. Anyway, after anything, you got chocolate, or there's most celebrations by most civilizations and on Earth, and most cultures is what I mean, not civilizations. Most people have got special celebrations and they stock up the supermarket and they have lots of things. And then after that's over, whatever it is, there's a lot of food that didn't get sold and it's on special offer and I buy it out. And from that I found that after... several things, you get dark chocolate, because quite a few people are avoiding dairy still, and they pretty much last for 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 years. It lasts for, yes, well, dark chocolate doesn't last. I've got a lot of dark chocolate. I bought some dark chocolate and I haven't seen Tenet yet. I'm working backwards from this. I know that it's all about time being out of order, which probably will suit me because I'm all over the place, basically all over the place. But I've got a lot of dark chocolate upstairs that I haven't eaten. I can make it last for a long time. A long time. It does last a long time. So I know from experience. I was like, chocolate. See, I've got some more chocolate. I opened this bar of chocolate about 5 days ago. And I've been eating it's not a big bar of chocolate. I've been eating my way through it a little bit. Because, see, I've got 5 bits of chocolate still left. I have some now. Because I walk for so long, I can afford a bit of chocolate. I'm not losing any weight anyway. It doesn't make any difference at all. I could eat nothing. I wouldn't lose any weight. I could eat everything in the house. I'd stay the same way. One Christmas, I came home and I ate nothing but chocolate and lots of food. I never went anywhere. I drank wine and all sorts of stuff, and I lost weight. I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Nothing but chocolate. See, one little piece of chocolate, I've still got half of it left. I eat like a bird. A bird made of chocolate. That doesn't make any sense at all. Anyway, no, I haven't seen Tenet. And I haven't seen Bill and Ted. I haven't seen anything. I'm probably not going to see anything in the cinema for quite a long time. I swallowed a fly when I was out. Maybe that's it. I swallowed a fly when I was out walking. That fly goes a long way. So maybe that's what's happening. Maybe the reason I'm not losing any weight is I'm swallowing all the spiders and the flies in my sleep. I've actually got a stomach that's completely full of insects that just decide that they're going to live in my stomach. That probably is it. It's horrible. This chocolate's quite nice. It's special. Look, this chocolate is orange, opulent orange. It says opulent orange. It's vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and made with no refined sugar and raw cacao. It's not really much opulence about that. It's more like austere chocolate, you know. This is the sort of chocolate you get when you don't want any fun at all. Oh, it's fallen on the floor now. Oh, I can't eat it now. I'm still going to eat it. I'll just wipe it off. Yeah, the floor's fine. Still going to eat it. Theatres are not really open, no. So there's no actual theatres open. You can't really... Although... Oh, they are open. Actually, no, they are open, thinking about it. But there's not much going on with them because you've still got to socially distance. So it's really difficult to get a good atmosphere going when people are sitting very far away, I think. 5-second rule, exactly. And it's a dry floor. And I'll just disinfect the chocolate and... Look, I've got some hand sanitizer. I'll have hand sanitizing chocolate. No, I won't do that. That will be horrible. That will be horrible. It's alcohol, so maybe it'll make like homemade alcohol chocolates. I'm not going to do that. Don't worry about me. I'm not going to do that. Don't write letters and go, Elise, don't do that. That's ridiculous and stupid and foolish. I know it is. I'm not actually going to do that. Anyway, I know what to do. Ethanol and chocolate is probably not a good combination, though, isn't it? It's not a good combination. Don't do that. So I had an orange and I've got some water and I'll just put orange on it. It's already opulent orange, and then I can put some orange peel, make opulent. Yeah, orange peel is probably a disinfectant, and I'll make it more orangey. Orangey opulent chocolate. Chocolatey chocolate. I'm losing people even as I'm sorry. This is just how it is. It's probably just as well I'm not doing one next Sunday because this is just ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, I will be back in London before you know it. And I won't be able to do anything because there's nothing on. It's like my dad's like, oh, there's more. Yes, it is quite strong. Can you smell it from there? Orange. There's not much to do anywhere, is there? My dad's like, oh, I suppose you have to go back to London and live your life. It's like, what life? There's nothing to do anywhere. It doesn't matter where I am. May as well go to the middle of the French countryside with no internet or electricity and live in my barn that's got no roof. I possibly should visit North Carolina, but I don't think there's any possibility that... Lots of great hiking in North Carolina. Do you mean hiking? Sorry, yes. It's easy to get... Yes. Anyway, I'm probably not going to do that because there's not really much chance of that happening, is there? No, because everything's rubbish at the moment. Yes, I thought that's what you meant. I thought, yeah, maybe it was a sort of slip of the tongue, or maybe it was a joke. I no way of knowing. It was, yeah. Hiking is good. I don't think, there's not a lot of hiking I can do in London. Although, I think I live quite near where Dick not Dick Whittington's tree, not Dick Whittington. Dick Whittington is from nearby, Dick Whittington and his cat. No, Dick Turpin, the highwayman's tree. There's a tree that apparently Dick Turpin, the highwayman, used to go past or something. Or maybe he got hung on it, or when he died. I don't know, actually. I don't know why it's called Dick Turpin's tree. Hiking in London is called walking, yes, and you can't do as much walking. Although I'll be doing some walking. Not that much. So, yeah. I suppose that's all I can do. So, on that note, I'll probably go now. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at some point. I'll see you on the other side when I'm back in London in about 2 weeks' time. Oh, it's going to be exciting, isn't it? I'll be in London, and the difference will be absolutely invisible. It'll just be the same, only me on the stairs. Good to see you too. I'll see you soon then. Bye-bye.